Let's talk about starting your very first business. I was talking to a friend on Friday who was kind of stuck in analysis paralysis. He told me that he wanted to start an IT business, a tech business, a business where he was helping companies in various ways, kind of like big, confusing tech stuff where they, overhaul all of their computer systems, bring them in a bunch of laptops, refine their cybersecurity, all of this confusing stuff that I don't know much about at all. And I, he's been talking about starting this business for a while, and every time we spoke, he's never made much progress towards it. So on Friday, I just kind of got down to the bottom of it. I was like, listen, what's stopping you from making any kind of progress here? And it came down to him overthinking the process as a whole, thinking that to get started, he had to know way more than he knows, and he has to have the team or the facilities to be able to deliver way more than he's able to deliver right now, right? Because if you're going to start a business where you provide, full computer systems for big, corporate companies, you got to have a bunch of computer systems to plug in, right? You got to have all of these things in place already. And what we talked about was, how can you just get started now? And he was confused by that question because he thought, hey, maybe I'll start a different business, make a bunch of money, and then invest a whole bunch of money into this business once the other business grows. But it just didn't make much sense to me, having to build a whole other business just to have the funds to build this new business here. And so we started talking about ways that he could start that same IT business without having to deliver the complicated thing that he thought he needed to deliver right off the bat. And it led into a conversation about finding the regression of the service you want to eventually be able to offer. And it opened up tons of doors for him to be able to jump in immediately, right? And when I say regression of the thing that you want to offer, I mean, if you want to start, I'll use his example. If you want to start an IT business where you come in and you provide a bunch of hardware and software for companies, and you don't have the hardware or the software yet, what is the regression of that offer that will allow you to make connections or have some kind of build some kind of track record in that industry? Which for him, it was just provide tech support, help people that are struggling with their computers, right? Start to learn a little bit about cloud-based solutions, right? Offer third-party solutions, offer something that you can do now as a one-man show. For example, if you want to start a sales agency, you obviously don't have 10, 20 reps. You're not thinking about starting an agency, jumping in and reaching out to a company that wants to bring on 10, 20 reps a month because they're scaling and growing fast. And you as a one-man show, you're not just going to jump in and promise that, right? Maybe you start off just doing sales for one small company and then replace yourself, right? Maybe you jump in and you say, hey, I will personally close your deals, and once you are doing a good job, I will hire a rep, train them, and replace them on that one offer, right? Being a closer would be like the regression of a sales agency. And there's lots of other things you can look at. You can find the regression of offers in every single industry, but having him think about it in a new way, in a different light, opened up tons and tons of doors for him, right? Like if you want to start a lawn care business where you are, have a bunch of trucks and doing all these, you're driving out to a bunch of different companies and you're doing their massive lawns or whatever, you're cutting down a bunch of trees and stuff. The regression of that would just be, cutting your neighbor's lawn and the local, in your local neighborhood, right? So finding the regression of the thing you want to offer in the future will help a ton. And from there, we just broke it down into spending, he was obviously still like, okay, well, how do I start that? And there's really only three things you need to research, three things you need to know, which is, what are you selling? How do you sell it? And how do you deliver it, right? Kicking things off, you just need to study that for however long it takes for you to have one thing to sell that's super and like just super easy to deliver, something that you can deliver on repeat by yourself, and then one vehicle, one kind of mechanism to sell it, something that again is simple enough that you can do it, and then you can repeat the process over and over again, which is usually some type of cold outreach, whether it's door to door handing out flyers, whether it's sending cold DMs, whether it's sending out cold emails, whether it's just picking up the phone and cold calling companies, whatever it is. Pick that one task that is going to allow you to continuously make progress and move the needle forward, and it's going to get a lot easier. So I don't know if any of you guys are struggling with this. I know a couple people have left comments about how to, start a business, how to get into their first business in 2025. And I would say, don't try to think about the big, massive company. Just find one small service. If you're interested in a niche, you can look at the big offers, but then try to find the regression of that service, the smallest thing that you can deliver on repeat multiple times over and over and over again by yourself. Figure out exactly how you can market to your audience. That is something that is most likely going to be reliant on sweat equity, not your dollars, because you don't have the dollars. Something relying on your sweat equity, that's some type of cold outreach that you can again repeat over and over and over again. And then if you're another thing that came up, he was just afraid to charge a lot. If you're afraid to charge at first, do it for free, in not for free, but let your payment be testimonials, case studies, reviews, or just say, hey, I'll do this service, leave me a review. And if my service was so bad that you don't want to leave me a review, tell me how I messed up, tell me how I could do better, give me feedback. So then you have either feedback to improve your service, or you're building a track record of testimonials, case studies, and reviews, so that when you are ready to start charging for it, you have a mountain of evidence and proof that you are delivering a great service. And, starting out that way makes it a lot easier for you. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you tomorrow.